Hello, my name is Woody Arnold, and I like science fiction, which I'm sure is no surprise given the shirt I'm wearing. Um, I would like to talk today about a show called Star Blazers, or as real fans call it, Space Battleship Yamato. Um, I think I've mentioned this in another video, which is being recorded and released out of sequence, so be mentioned. But when I was a kid, this show Star Blazers, I discovered it when I was 5 years old, and it amazing. It just blew my mind. The science fiction series, serialized storytelling. It was nothing like, the Tom and Jerry or whatever you were watching as a kid. Definitely written for an adult audience. I don't think it should have been on television. My parents had been paying attention when I was watching. I'm not sure they would have let me watch it. People died. There was like serious war topics. It was, I don't think the main characters bit it, but definitely lots of supporting characters were very clearly killed on screen. And the villain, the alien race, the Gamelons or Gamelas, they were fighting, dead. Thousands of them were killed. Oh my God, it was amazing. Not that I'm supporting like death and war, but from the serious storytelling aspect, I thought it was really amazing. What impressed me most about the show was that it didn't talk down to a kid. It treated me like an intelligent, capable individual who was mature enough to evaluate what he was seeing. I didn't go out and kill people. I didn't act up. It didn't make me violent to watch this show. It actually, if anything, it expanded my imagination and showed me things, like another way of looking at things. That there was a scene where like they had a major battle, lots of crew died. There were dozens and dozens of caskets of dead people on the ship. They had a funeral out in space. Everybody was in spacesuits, and they were sending all these crew member off into space with a that kind of a burial at sea kind of thing. And that was interesting to see. And it there were times when like say the death of Optimus Prime, right? And kids got upset when they saw that. Hasbro didn't know what they had, didn't realize what was actually going on, like how much people cared about their characters, because we didn't have internet back then. They didn't know. And yeah, it was kind of sucked. But when I was a kid, it didn't bug me that bad. I mean, because I'd already seen it. I saw it on Macross. I saw it on Yamato. When Roy Fokker bit it in Macross, it was like, oh my God, this main character just died. But it was just like, I'd already been through that. Like it didn't bug me that much. But Yamato was this just amazing story. First season's the best. Season 2, But on the second watch as an adult, definitely was. I would give that one a pass. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I recently discovered that the continuation of the series, not a continuation. What am I talking about? There is a reboot that happened a few years ago called Space Battleship Yamato 2199, and 2099 is the year the series takes place, and it was a complete modern reboot of the show. And I had seen some clips on YouTube, and I was blown away, but I couldn't see the show. And it turns out that recently Funimation is streaming the whole thing on their website. It's actually coming out in a few months in DVD finally, but and you can see it all in English or in Japanese on Crunchyroll, I guess. But I've got done watching. I think I'm up to episode 13 now, but wow, right? Because like the original series was really good. I certainly recommend it, but it's also something a sign. It's of the time it was made. Main characters have bell bottoms in their uniforms, and they have. It definitely has a 70s campiness, and the soundtrack is definitely 70s. Even though it's a really good soundtrack, it still holds up. It's very, very 70s. And the new series They have the same uniforms. The ship is mostly the same. All the familiar characters are there, but everything is definitely. It is very clear that this was created in the era of Battlestar Galactica, the new series. You can definitely tell that the people who watched. Who made this were fans of the new Battlestar Galactica. They've got a commander of the air group just like they did. They act like post titles are more nautical. They have definitely elements that you are familiar with, from Battlestar Galactica, keep popping up in there repeatedly. But they also did a lot of other unique stuff too. Like there's more female crew members. They have new characters that weren't in the original series. One of them is they have a female pilot, so she's kind of like the Starbuck, but her personality is very different. A lot of the episodes, the classic episodes, have been remade and retold. Like the first episode, which was normally just the story that took one episode to complete in the first series, is now done in 2 episodes. And some of those iconic scenes that you remember are reimagined here in this new series, but way better. The battle scenes are you can almost feel the impact of the hits, and technology is explained a little better. The whole production is just definitely taking it up to 11. And it doesn't invalidate what was great about the original series, and you could still go back and watch this, but this is definitely for a modern audience with a more serious take on the story. And man, I'm really enjoying this show. I cannot wait to get through it. I've actually it's one of the situations where there's times like I need to go do this, but I'm watching Yamato right now, and I was like, I have to keep watching this. And this is a show that, as a fan of the original series, this is the show I've been waiting for a very long time, and I am really excited to see how it ends. And I definitely will will do another review talking about what I felt of the series when I reached the end. But one thing though I do want to mention, there's definitely some twists too. It's not the same story. There have been a few changes so far in the story that I didn't see coming. And one of those was that the Gamelas, or Gamelons, depending on what version, Star Blazers, they were Gamelons, and I guess in the Japanese Yamato, they were Gamelas. But, and like the leader of them is Dessler, which we knew him as Deathlock, which I don't know why you would ever make that change. That makes no sense to me. But regardless, the Gamelon's home planet still has elements of kind of like the Hollow World elements from the original series, but the whole environment has been redesigned. Instead of just its bizarre alien environment that nobody would ever want to live in, unless they were strictly a enslaved military society, you have a civilization with civilians. You have a place that you go there, you actually see their homeworld many times in the course of the series so far, and it looks like a real place. Characters that were just there for 1 or 2 episodes that were cool, right? But they are now like fully developed and fleshed out. This main general character, if I don't actually know the original Japanese name, so I won't get into it, but like it's weird because I've been following the character, I should remember this. But this main general character who had this strategic battle against the Yamato in the star system with 5 different stars, all different colors, and it was a really cool fight. And his character is going in a very different direction in this new series. Dessler, the leader, like a third of the way into the series, there's a major change with his storyline, and I don't know where this is going to go. It's new and exciting to me, but there's the politics of the Gamela's empire, and actually showing them as an empire, and it's great. And one of the things that I really like, which maybe it was like this in the Japanese series, I'm not sure, but in the American series, American version, there were Gamelas. Most of the Gamelas were blue skinned. There were occasionally some that had other skin colors. They never really explained why, and I don't think the crew ever saw any non-blue. And then now we see other races. It turns out that these versions that have a different skin color, they're another race. They're a conquered society. In fact, there's at least 2 other races that they've revealed that are a conquered, no, 3 races so far that are conquered people that are part of their civilization. that have been absorbed, and I really like that. That's actually one gripe I have of Star Trek is like, you got the Klingons, you got the Romulans. They are, and they are a legitimate threat to the Federation, and yet, and they've absorbed other races, but you never see them, not really. And like the Cardassians think they're a threat to the Federation, but they really aren't. Not until the Dominion showed up, and they're just one race too. It's like, why would an empire with one of a single race think that it is a match for the empire that holds the largest territory? The only reason why the Federation was never really a threat to these people is because they were pacifist and they didn't build better ships until the Borg showed up. And I think the fact that they're surrounded by enemies on all sides is probably the thing that balances things out. But the Federation, if it really built the best technology it had, it could march across the galaxy. Anyways, getting back, I'm off topic. But yeah, this new series of Yamato, oh my god, this is like the best thing I've ever seen. It's right up there with Cowboy Bebop. And I can't wait to see how it ends. And I recommend this show. This is definitely a 5 out of 5. Check this one out. Unfortunately, in order to watch it, you have to be willing to dump $60 for an annual membership with Funimation, or see it on Crunchyroll. I don't know if it's free. I'm definitely not into. I can't do animation with subtitles anymore because I have so busy. I can't just sit and watch. I need to be able to do something else as I go. So I like having the English dubbed version because it works better for me and my schedule and my availability. But either one's good. If you want to see it in English, you're gonna have to be willing to pay $60, or wait till the DVD comes out and drop 100, or maybe it'll come out on Cartoon Network. We'll see. Anyways, this show's amazing, and I will definitely be reviewing it again when it ends. So check it out.